morning on Thursday, July 26th, June 26th, skipping a month there. And I am just here to let you know about a heat advisory in our area, folks. Well, not in my area in particular, but in South Georgia. It's going to get up to 107 today, and we have thunderstorms moving in the early part. So if I have to move to a slightly differently lit area, that's the reason why. Like I said, with 107 heat advisory, the thing says as always, make sure not to leave your kids in the car, make sure not to leave your pets unattended, you know, all that sort of stuff. Increments, like 10 minutes activity, 15 minutes sitting in the shade and drinking lots and lots of water. Y'all see that? That was pretty cool. I'm gonna walk this way so maybe you'll see it in the background. Right now, I would normally say not to do this shit because there's a slight possibility, please don't strike my phone, that the lightning hits my phone because it is metallic-esque and all that, esque. But I'm hoping I'll be a little bit safe because we have a tree and a building that are slightly taller than me. Yeah, I'm sort of just walking around the parking lot in the store next door because they ain't open yet and I'm waiting on my ride. We got at least 30 minutes to walk and talk before work starts, and I just, early morning stream. Woo. It's very important to know that in this heat stroke sets in fast. Heat sickness is the first sign. So if you are working outside and you haven't eaten anything questionable, meaning you aren't questioning those leftovers from 2 weeks ago, you start to get a bit queasy, that's your sign to take a 10-minute break. Sit down, drink water, not amber-colored liquids. As much as I love it, I'm not talking Dr. Pepper here, folks. I'm talking H2O purified water. Faith. And understand, your boss might I don't like how my hair's all starting to stand up. I think I'm gonna go get under that building's roof over there. Cause first sign of a lightning strike is all the hair starts to stand up. So we're gonna just double time it a little bit. Not that we can outrun a lightning strike, but if you're given the warning signs, why not trust the warnings? I'm a firm believer in proper preparation prevents poor performance. Come into the darkness with me, friends. Oh, crap, there's 22 of y'all. What's up, everybody? Hello, Anthony Lopez. Hello, Malachi. Hello again, Anthony Lopez. And now there's 10 of you. What's up, y'all? I was just talking about the heat advisory in the area and trying to find light because oh God, is that why everyone showed up? As I was walking through that storm, all my hair started to stand up and I went moving for cover. Was everybody turning up over to see me get hit? I'm sorry, y'all. I do try to take proper caution. Yeah, injury videos will eventually happen because I do dumb and extreme stuff and I do early morning videos and walk along the sides of the road. I'm doing all right. It's early, but in case you can't tell, I got my first coffee of the day. I'm just waiting for my ride to get here. I read a news report before I logged on, according to Atlanta Journal and the WJCT, whatever the free one is. We got a heat advisory in South Georgia today, so I was just making sure everyone knew. Take lots of breaks, stay hydrated. I shouldn't have to tell you not to leave your loved ones in a car unattended. And if you got old folks in your life, check in on them today. It's a heat advisory. Heat will sneak up and kill you. That's why it's scary. That the thing? That the thing you wanted? I don't know what a Lamar Jackson edit is. Want a little bit more light? Movie magic, folks. Movie magic. Aw, thanks, Anthony. Like I said, this afternoon it's going to be a bit of a longer walk because we play in the part of Balto. My friend needs his insulin at the house, so we have brought our bag. We will load our bag with ice once we get off of work, and we will go to Ingles to get the stupidly expensive insulin that keeps my friend alive. And then we will walk it home for at that point from Ingles, about 6 to 7 miles. And hopefully we won't die. But y'all can join me for the trip, and assuming the storm makes it a little bit cooler or I can stick to the shade just a little bit more, hopefully my phone won't burn up. David has informed me that my videos tend to skip sometimes. My only thing I can say to that is my phone can't take the heat that my body's being exposed to. Oh, thank you, Anthony. You really are a kind soul. Sorry, y'all, not to be distracted. This isn't like a kaiju editing moment or whatever. The wind's kicking up hard here. Let me step out into it for a moment. Can you hear it, folks? I'm gonna die blind. Okay. This is the weird thing to me. Major heat advisory, but this is the level of storm we got coming in right now. Do you see the trash running? I don't know if you can see that. Up there, we got a large piece of plastic running across the... No, I'm not picking it up. And I'm not going to walk out into it. But let's just say that area is being turned into an air cannon or a wind cannon. Not exactly day at the moment unless I take it into work with me. And I don't think Liz wants me to bring a bag of trash into her car with her. Crap. I hope I don't get pink eye from this. My name is on the channel. My name is Travis Croy. I try to put my actual face and my actual name out there, both because I'm a little dumb and crazy and because I want to be genuine with y'all. If I make mistakes, as is likely will happen, I'm going to own my mistakes and try to do better. We're growing as people, and maybe one day when I'm gone, these videos will outlast me and I'll live as a small part of y'all. Well, fuck it, I'll go ahead and dox the store. This is the Dollar General, the local Dollar General, and it's a good place with good folks at it. Don't harass nobody here. They're all good folks. But yeah, I typically wait here for my rides. And when I can get a ride in the morning, I take it, because I have walked through this before and it was not, well, let's just say it wasn't filmable when I walked through. Hello, Tristan Wicker. I hope I said that right. Tristan Wicker. And hello again, Anthony Lopez. Honestly, my little ape brain constantly... Is that a tornado? Is that a tornado? And in case you were wondering the time of year it is, in case this video is like further in the future, there's my flashlight. We got cicadas! Nature's angry alarm clock. Isn't it cute? When they're alone, they're adorable. It's when they're in packs of over 1,000 that, oh my God, they're maddening. It's just, I can't replicate the noise. If you know the noise, Google it. We have Google. We all have Google if you're watching this. Google cicada song. They let us know that it is that magical time of year by screaming endlessly. But yeah, it's just a quiet morning. We just waiting for our ride. We got about 30 minutes. I have about 20 left, I think. And I was gonna read a book, but I ain't got the light because my plan was to pace on that side of the parking lot and read to y'all. But from the book No More Ice by Naval Dali, I think I'm confusing Homo Deus and No More Ice. Give me just a moment. There we go. I think that'll work. Hey, we developing cameraman skills here. Something to add to my portfolio. Okay. What we have in here, changing shirt for walking. My latest crochet project. This little beauty. Isn't she lovely? I'll show better pictures in the shorts. And then the book I was going to read to y'all. The End of Ice by Dar Jamal. It's a good book, but it's a little bit of an older read, and it's cataloging, well, as it says in there, the end of what we used to call when I was a kid, permafrost. Knees are not my friend sometimes. Oh, everybody left. It's okay. I understand it's not fun to talk about the end of the world kind of thing. But the end of ice. When I was a kid in high school, we had something called permafrost. According to my high school and elementary and middle school textbooks, permafrost is a layer of frost at the Arctic that is below the layer of permanent ice that thaws out on top a little bit every single year. But down below that, you have a bog of moss and other... Yes, I do live in the USA. I don't live on a star, but I'm assuming you mean state. It's Georgia. I live in Georgia. We are that ugly little armpit wedged in between Alabama and Mississippi. We make fun of Alabama and Mississippi, but eventually I'll start taking y'all on more tours of little things around. Like my next big plan, I was going to do it today, but with the heat advisory in effect, I'm going to go against it. Today's payday, so when I get off work, I'm going to go get me a fancy big hat for this heat, because my simple hat was to basically walk to the library and let y'all see what our local library looks like, because it is quite impressive and quite large for something in South. Man makes plans, the world and nature laughs at us. Right now I'm just kind of watching the clouds, which I would share with y'all, but my camera ain't quite good enough for it. It's kind of neat to watch. It reminds me of being on the boat and working on the river. And the one thing that I really love doing, which is kind of a weird thing, but if you've ever done it, have you ever just watched running water, like flowing water in a river, a brook, whatever, the bubbles? Either way, end of ice, permafrost, all that. Right now, the permafrost is thawing out. That's why we're finding things like the woolly rat and the woolly mammoth and so many saber-tooth Smilodon, because they were asleep in the ice. Will we find an it? Not an it. Will we find the thing from John Carpenter? Maybe. Hello, Anthony. Why do I keep attracting kids into my feed? I am 37. But it's like, with all the controversies going on with YouTube celebs of late, I don't want to join that fold, you know? That is possible, psychologically speaking. But, oh, the sky's getting lighter and it is not time for that. Maybe the lights just kicked on. Maybe I activated an emergency. Oh no, the emergency system goes off, you're going to hear it. It's going to go wah, 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 and flashing lights. At that point, I'm going to have a long conversation with the local police and probably get a stern talking to about wandering in front of his door too much. But for now, it seems like they know their local crazy person. And what be that lovely critter we got there? I always find such fun critters. That is a beetle. Ain't that a pretty beetle? It's got a mother-of-pearl-esque finish. So pretty. Yeah. I might not be able to identify them all, but I do like seeing them. Eventually, I'll go back when I'm editing this and catalog and try to, name them. Because we also have an 8-legged friend right here that I'm going to get much less close to because I can't identify them. And I don't want to get any closer to their web than that. But permafrost, various viruses getting released. See, I'm not what you'd call a conspiracy theorist, but I am of a conspiracy mindset, so to speak. It's sort of like I think The Matrix is a wonderful movie. I think we should stick with reality more than what we got around us. And if it doesn't okay, for example, when I hear some of my fellow Georgians who are very, very Christian say they know Jesus because miracle thing, and I get called an asshole because this is why I don't like kids in my feed. And I get called a bad person because I just, okay, dude, you can be bitten by them and unaffected. John and Luke, I believe, were those chapters. It was in the later stages, back when it's much more doomsday prep. But, and like I said, no disrespect to the Christians. I realize there's a majority of those everywhere. But I couldn't do it. And when you tell me you got magical powers, I'm the kind of asshole that, okay, cool, show me. I'm up for some magic. But the thing is you don't got them. See, if I told Gandalf the Grey to throw a fireball, he could do it. Or blow me a weird little smoke dragging out of a pipe smoke. He could do it. If I wanted Nightcrawler to poof and reappear next to me, he could do it. And this also goes for some of you more, darker entities out there. Yeah, do it. Prove me. the demonic sort of sorts. Okay, you're a demon? Cool. Prove it. But most conspiracy theorists like the super soldier group just want to, I did all this and I'm going to tell you a tale. I've never been up that way. I have, when I worked for Steel City Marine Transport, I went up and down the Mississippi, I want to say it was. I wasn't very good at that job. I did my best. It was mostly my crew that made me through that. And when I say my crew, it signifies like, I was just a deckhand. But it was a good learning experience, and it taught me what I could and couldn't survive. I could survive it. I didn't want to. I know I could pick up better imaging if I went over there. 1 minute. Through the work of audio over there. But if you can tell from the tree lines getting shaky, that wind's not going to be very forgiving of me going over there. But, do we got any new friends on the wall? It does not appear that way. Whatever that freaky giant mandible bug was yesterday, I don't see any more of them out here now. I mean, good and bad, I guess. I never got to find out what the heck it was. And I tried to Google it, but yesterday was just such a bit. Oh, y'all, yesterday was such a busy day. Right out the gate, we were just running and gunning. And the kitchen, well, of course, it's a summer tradition. Our kitchen's air conditioner is now broken, melting. And it's just, man, boy, howdy, it'd be cool if there was a way that the CEOs and the higher-ups could experience what their lower downs experience. And that goes for everything, fast foods and factories. Why is it the CEOs, why would they not just go to the next one, gonna treat them the same but different? Then again, I'm a millennial, and apparently that's what we started. You Zoomers and youngers started doing the whole quiet quitting, and I support and applaud that too. But we started this is bullshit and I'm not getting paid no more. Oh, you're paying the same wage, but I can possibly go up? Okay, we're going there then. Literally, the only thing that's had me hesitating on that is I like my team. And that's how I've moved through life. I stick with a team until I get tired of being on that team or the team breaks apart. And then I move on because I am not loyal to any company. But that's also why I've got my not uniform shirt on. Technically, we could just wear this to walk home in, but that's an Appalachian Trail style shirt. I am hoping because of its exact branding and all that, when my friend bought it for such a high price for me, it will breathe better and act better than this simple Canon, I believe it's called, shirt from Michaels. It's the shirt at the nice. Sadly, we almost out of time. Sorry nothing fun happened during the storm. It's just been blowing in here for the most part. Trees are dancing and singing, but that's about it. And I don't know what all my mic's picking up. But eventually we will read the book. I've got it, and it covers the various things. Like the fact that Big Blue, the ice sheet in Antarctica, I want to say it is. For the record, this ice sheet has been around. I got my political and my historical streamers crossed. The one that I was about to say is one that I like to watch to lambast and make fun of. But check out Milo Rossi, Mini Minuteman. He does a lot of really good YouTube history documentaries, and he is a historian. But the latest good but depressing one that I've been thinking about is The Great Raft. He did a full breakdown. I want to say it's an hour-long video, but it's well worth it. I don't know if any of y'all ever been around a raft or a dam made by beavers and logs and a log jam. They're typically neat to see, but wildly dangerous and kind of loose. Now imagine one, but instead of it being wildly dangerous and loose, would have given us something like out of Avatar The Last Airbender's Great Swamp. But my home would have been one of those great swamps. It would have been cooler. We would have had a variety of animals that I genuinely can't even begin to imagine. Because of American capitalism and greed, we don't get that future, though. Because of that, we get deserts. Because some capitalist greedy piglet decided, I want the riverways to flow forever in every direction. Native Americans and people that had been here forever were like, hey, don't damage that. We consider that almost like a sacred animal. It's been here longer than we have, and it supports the environment. The Great Raft, the lockup of log flows that was over 2,000 years old, was basically, there were like little rivulets that ran under it, and it was a faux ground of sorts. Well, American greed couldn't let anything nice stand. So after about 28 years of cutting and building a series of little flotillas that were designed specifically to hack up and cut up wood, they finally killed the Great Raft. And the waters flowed free for the first time in over 2,000 years. And it fucked everything up. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but it destroyed everything. It's what gave us deserts out towards Arizona. It changed the entire environment. It displaced and destroyed about 5 different Native American tribes that were living in the area, specifically living on the Great Raft. And for what? That company no longer exists. The man who did it died before it was completed. So I ask again, why do we not have the great swamps? Why do we not have a forest the likes of which would make the rainforests jealous? Well, that's simple. They wanted money. Yeah, people will say it, and I hear every other rapper talk about it until they start talking about stacking stacks. But money is the root of all evil. Okay. Hey, you realize you're also accepting that money and working within that system, right? The only way we can do it is to stop it. The only problem is me just being one schmuck talking about it ain't gonna change a damn thing. We've got to unite. We've got to start doing the whole ethical capitalism thing. And yeah, making those hard decisions. Give you an example and kind of a little call out, even though I love you, my girl Hannah. I love you, and I doubt you'll see this. But girl, you drink that Coke product. You know them Coke folks are supporting the genocide, right? And I'm a Southerner. Girl, that comes from my state. They supporting a genocide. Quit drinking that Diet Coke. Find you an ethical alternative. I'm not saying don't drink your beverage you love. I'm saying find the ethical choice. And I get it. Fuck me, right? I do get that. Hell, I'm drinking a Monster. They also support Israel in the genocide. It's fucked, y'all. When they say no ethical consumption under capitalism, they're kind of right. I mean, yeah, of course you would choose the way out. I'm going to torture you, and life will be torture forever. Don't you want to live? No, of course they choose death, and it's horrible, and it's sad. And if you eat Chick-fil-A, you say you love that shit. Dead children. Yeah, I'm an asshole about that kind of thing. I'm sorry, it's obvious on some fronts. On others, it's a little bit harder. Hobby Lobby, for example. I got a Hobby Lobby within reach. I could get my crafting supplies cheaper if I went there. But it's like, that's what Hobby Lobby's all about. They have literally worked within the government to make it to where Hobby Lobby is seen as an entity, a human, not just as a company. So they have the ability to cut their health benefits to where ladies do not have the right to birth control. Which, hot take here, dudes that don't understand it, birth control ain't always about not having babies. Sometimes it's about regulating your flow for your menstrual cycle. And yes, some ladies take certain birth controls for other things because, no, it's usually, here's a pill. Okay, now that's going to imbalance you in this way, but we can fix that through here. Or this is going to make you groggy, which sucks. But now you're not going to be in constant pain from that thing in your leg or that thing on your face. I was heavily on Vicodin when they removed all of my teeth. Yeah, these dentures. Because the man in my life had money enough to take care of me, and I'm not going to forget that or claim that this was because of me. If it wasn't for that man, David, I would not have teeth. I would be looking at you with like 2 teeth. But that's because I was a very angry child, and I fought constantly as a kid. And when you take lots of hits to the face, you kind of lose parts of your face. You also lose kind of parts of your brain meats too sometimes. It gets hard to think at times. But it's just, is what it is. And I think that violent start gave me the calm demeanor I have now because, yeah, violence is an answer, y'all. Violence is an answer, but it's not the answer. If somebody's messing with a friend of mine and I'm like, hey, cut that shit out. Hey, no, that ain't funny. Myself into a lightning rod to attract your attention away from them, or I'm going to put hands on you. One of the two. But learning martial arts is a good way of developing that level of, I'm never going to be that guy that, I'm real angry and hurt at the world. I'm going to go get a gun. I'm never going to be that guy because that's not how you should be, for one. And for two, why would I need a gun? Seriously, if you got a gun and you're going to end me, that'll be a lot quicker than me beating you to death with my fist. Let's play a game, asshole. And for the record, let's be honest, I'm not an internet badass. I do things with my body that some couldn't do, but plenty could. Give you an example. Yesterday I was a little bit too exhausted to be speaking too clearly, but from the time that I spoke to you here yesterday morning to the time I got the video cut, about 30 minutes after that, because that's about how long it took me to get to my house from there. Well, my trailer from there. Yeah, I did not sit down once throughout that entire day until I got home. And when I got home, I sat for about 35 minutes. I drank a quart of water. I drank a half of a 2-liter Dr. Pepper. I sat, I cried a little bit, and then I moved on. I got me a shower and I went ahead and live streamed. But that's my day. Today I likely won't sit down until after the day's over. Heck, today I won't probably have the chance to just stand around cracking eggs and doing prep work, depending on the team we got, because it is payday. So anyone want to make a bet on if Alan shows up today? Yeah, naming and shaming, dude. If you happen to be watching this, or Jesse happens to be watching the live stream, naming and shaming. Are you showing up today, or are you skipping out for some other nonsensical reason? First time it was because your husband was scared to drive in the rain. Second time, your husband was scared to drive in the nighttime. Third time, you was going with your husband to a job fair. Fourth time, you felt sick. Every single payday, dude. Every single... Y'all, it ain't going to be that kind of stream. I'm just saying. That's like a pet peeve. That and the fact that apparently Bartow, David corrected me. It is not, because U-Harley says it's Cartersville. Cartersville says it's U-Harley. Both say it's Bartow. Bartow says it's them. And then amongst all that bickering and stupidity, works when it doesn't. When bureaucracy works correctly, libraries are established, roads are developed. Y'all, here are battery packs for it, because my phone won't support that walk. We have our city council meetings here in U-Harley over towards the library. Same place that we have the food drives from the church, which I would go to, because who's going to say no to some good free food? It's outdated food the last time I got it, but I've never gotten from the Red Door. They probably do good work. But they give it out at the library. Every other Wednesday at a weird little schedule, they got signs. Here's the problem. To get to the library from where I'm at, I can cross a bridge that I am legally not allowed to cross on foot. I have to have a vehicle to cross this bridge. I can either cross that bridge illegally, and yeah, I'm not shitting you, it'll be an $800 fine if you get caught on that bridge as a pedestrian. They ain't playing, they will fine you. People have died on that bridge. There's a reason for not letting you cross it on foot. But I can either cross that bridge, swim the river, or walk roughly 34 miles in that direction, opposite to where I'm going, to go into Cartersville, through Cartersville, almost out to Rome, back into U Harley, and cut the super long route they cut around the power plant, because that was another weird thing, that when I was a kid, we drove through the coal field to get to school. Meaning, after they've processed all of the coal that power plant takes in, they have a pot field or a waste field where just the powdered carbon, for lack of a better word, because I'm not sure if it's carbon or whatever it is, but it's useless coal dust. They flew down, touched down, the coal got on them, and they got stuck. I doubt they fixed that problem, but first they put up a concrete privacy wall around it, and the water runs through them and out. We got to see in the winter time, how the water would sometimes freeze in certain places, but it was so hot. They moved the road roughly 10 to 15 miles away from the power plant, with several towers in between the two now that are just like little outpost towers. And yeah, I would love to show y'all like we're going to sneak past the gate and look at this. But I don't want to go to prison, and no break facility with it's a very nice place. I remember in elementary school, we used to go on tours of it on occasion. And it's also why when my batshit crazy uncle was saying, oh, it's a nuclear power plant. No, it's not. They might one day make it that way. It is not a nuclear power plant. That's a coal plant. That's why we have like 100 to 200 to 400 coal bins come in every day. And around 1,000 go out every other day. It's a coal plant. And then again, my uncle also believes that Farmers is a documentary. And yeah, meth is bad, kids. Don't do meth. And that's kind of why I'm here telling you, you can choose your family, though. And you should choose your family. You got a racist in the family? Why? I don't. Oh, you got a bad drug addicted person going to hurt people for their drugs in your family? I don't. My ohana is very small, but my ohana is very strong. And yeah, that's not to say I'd abandon somebody, but let's be clear. When your problems become the world's problems, then you need to fix those problems, you know? Well, I've rambled for about as long as I can. I'm wondering where my ride is at. I'm wondering what time it is. I'm very appreciative for the 2 viewers. And most importantly, I know he's not a coward, because when confronted about the Middle East, he was unabashedly saying, yeah, Israel has a right to exist, as do all states. And they have a responsibility to uphold the Geneva Convention and all the things that make a state upholding. He answered the political questions correctly, and he didn't shy away from them, so I'm happy he won the election. Mark Carney, that's his name, right? I might be wrong. I think Carney was the one that got defeated. Like I said, I'm not anywhere near New York, but I am celebrating their mayoral race just because, hopefully, again, I don't know. I'm a dumbass in Georgia, but hopefully that man brings some clarity to New York and a little bit less corruption to the rotten apple. I would very much like to be proud of my country at least once before I die, and it not be dumbass propaganda, but actual, earned pride in my country. No, I mean, it's like, I get so many people around there, well, we won World War II. Of Ford, a known Nazi who was actually in Mein Kampf, and the fact that, fascism and Nazism be goose-stepping across our good country. Did we win the war? I mean, did we? I hate to be that guy, but it's like, I'm sorry, is it any safer in America for a black man today than it was in 1934? Is it? Is it safer for a Hispanic person? I mean, I know it ain't no safer for the Muslim community or anyone from the Middle East for that matter. Because here in America, we're kind of ignorant and stupid, and we lump in Sikhs, Muslims, Hindu people, Hindis, all together. And we're real stupid for that because they're very clearly different groups. And it does take a little bit to tell the difference in the intricacies. I don't fully understand either of the three. But here's the thing. I wouldn't call the Hindi person a Muslim just because they're here in the South seems to immediately go to, oh, they're just the Middle Eastern gas station work. Racist? Quiet racism. Why? People should be better, and we should hold ourselves to higher standards. My phone just went off. And I am flush again. Not for long, though, because that was not as big a check as I was expecting. It's all right, though. We'll make it. We always do. A lot of overtime on the next one, I'm supposing. Either way, I got to hit the ATM before work to make sure my emergency funds get pulled off, so the blood-sucking parasites that are my debt collectors don't get every penny out of my check. But there be my ride. Y'all be good. We will see you later. I'm learning how to sign off these faster. Be good, be safe, endure, and survive.